Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are going to be taking a first look, kind of, at a new update for Arms Trade Tycoon Tanks, a game that is currently in early access available on Steam, but is about to release a major new patch. So it comes out on the 27th, so if you are watching this on YouTube, it'll be out today. If you are watching this on Twitch, obviously that is tomorrow. And what is this update? Well, Arms Trade Tycoon is a game that puts you in the shoes of an industrialist running a factory that makes tanks. In all the great sense of the word tycoon, this fits those sort of historical games, right? Games like, I'm trying to think, like maybe Capitalism. I don't know. I played a lot of games where you run the factory, right? I played Railroad Tycoon a bunch. And I played some Game Dev Tycoon, which is kind of like running a factory type deal, but for software development. Except in Arms Trade Tycoon tanks, your job is to design and build tanks and win contracts and sell those tanks to governments, etc. However, in the previous version of the early access game, it was only covering World War I. So you had tanks, but you were pretty limited in what you could do. Early designs, early equipment, very primitive tanks, right? Well, with this update, you will actually have the ability to jump ahead to the interwar period. So I believe if you start with the, Era 1, the World War I era, you just play through it. If you start with Era 2, you can jump straight into the interwar period, and that's what we're going to do today. So you can see Era 1, look, they're World War I tanks. I think it's all still the British, too, as far as what you can play. Era 2, well, you can see these tanks look something more similar to what you'd expect with a tank, right? These first ones, these British tanks don't have turrets. These British tanks do have turrets. They do still tend to have weird things like multiple main guns, which is kind of weird, but nonetheless. Era 2 is World War I, post-World War I into World War II, but not quite to World War II. So you can see here the description here is following their successful use of tanks in World War I, the British continued to invest in tank research and development during the interwar years. Notable interwar tank designs include the Mark 1 through 3 series, or medium Mark 1 through 3 series, which incorporated lessons learned from the Great War and featured improved firepower and armor. Experimental multi-turreted tank designs, such as the AIEI, is that A1E1, Independent, and A6 models, explored novel configurations that aimed to increase firepower, though they proved overly complex. Tensions rose in Europe during the 1930s. The British accelerated their tank programs, laying the groundwork for the more advanced and capable designs that would play a pivotal role in the next global conflict. So that's the description of the era. You can see there's a little bit more information down here at the bottom around, I guess this is based on the difficult, maybe not. This is just a company summary, I guess. Your game starts at the outset of the interwar era, with your resources and capabilities enhanced to facilitate ambitious undertakings. Increased funding has been secured, and key World War I era technologies have already been unlocked, providing a solid foundation for future development. The warehouses are well stocked with essential supplies, and your workforce has been augmented to handle the full scope of your planned projects. Furthermore, diplomatic relations with the United Kingdom have been elevated to Tier 3 status. I'm assuming that's like the company's status within the country, granting you greater leverage and influence in forthcoming negotiations. Cool. Era 3, obviously, World War II, still in development. The interbellum era presents greater complexity and challenges compared to the World War I era. We recommend beginning with the World War I era if you are not yet familiar with this game's mechanics. Well, we have played this game multiple times before, and we did manage to go bankrupt last time we played this on stream, so why not try a harder challenge? What are you going to do, make me go bankrupt twice? I could do it. All right. New player, company, general information. My name, Mr. Butcher. Enter the company name. Should it be Turret Toss Corp? Why not? If we're going to have turrets now, might as well. The story continues. With the establishment of the Specialized Tank Corps, the interwar period promises to be a dynamic period of rapid innovation and advancement in armored warfare. Military strategies are already envisioning a new era where tanks will play a central role on the battlefield, eclipsing the dominance of traditional infantry and cavalry forces. Okay. So, is it paused right now? No. Weird. It's not, but it appears to be. Oh, it was. Okay. France unveils Era 2 military doctrine. France has just unveiled new military doctrine, signaling the nation's ongoing commitment to modernizing its armed forces. This strategic overhaul promises to position France as a global leader in military innovation and capability. Expect to see new roles for the tank and armored units as the government funnels additional resources into modernizing the Army Corps. Well, yeah, so I don't know about that. Anyway, we are back here on the main sort of screen for the game here. You've got the production hall. That's where all the stuff is made. You can see we actually already have some stuff upgraded from the interwar update. So we've got an ergonomics office already built. We've got a sub-assembly line, a hardening hall, and a riveting hall. There are other upgrades that can still be done, but that is what is currently in place. It is a tier 2 production hall with 4 out of 6 potentially facility slots. 0 out of 2 assembly lines. So we can go into the factory here, and we can see here. Yeah, we know about that. You can see we've got 2 factory lines. We've got some designs already built. We've got the heavy Mark 1. We've got the Mark 1 Vanguard, Mark 5 series, the medium Whippet tank designs, the heavy Mark 7. But these are all sort of traditional World War I designs here. So I don't know that any of these would be desirable for us to keep or produce or anything like that. But it's what you can see that we do have. If we also go back here, stop. I don't need that. I don't need that. Don't pop that up with me. I mean, maybe I do need it, but I don't want it. All right, we've also got our engineering bureau here, which has several sections unlocked. Looks like we've got 2 engineering lines, which previously when we had played this, we only had the 1. Where you can do components and engineer new tank components and designs for your tanks. Probably should also look at the R&D here. You can see we've got tier 1 is, I'm curious if it's all unlocked. Looks like all of structure, firepower, and mobility are all unlocked. So you go to tier 2, and you can see here new things to research. New and better fuel, new and better engines, new and better guns, an anti-tank gun. What is, oh, that's man hours. This would be the O quick firing? What is O? 3-pounder, 47L31. Variable. So you can see all these different things we can research here. I think we already have the required machinery. Maybe not. I'll have to check. And then we've got new structures here, so we can go a miniaturized rumble hull, which is, I guess, the next hull design. I don't know that I love that design. It looks just like another stupid heavy tank design. Like, I want something that looks like an interwar tank. I'd rather a medium hull. But it looks like I gotta go a little ways down the research lines before I get there. We have 30 engineers in each research line at the moment. Additionally, if we go back here, we can see the research bureau. That's what we were just in. The design bureau is up here. The warehouse. We have quite a decent amount, I guess, of resources here. I suppose that depends on what design we build here. Administration, we have no loans, no debt, so that's good. We have 360 employees out of a total of 800 max. That's not a ton of workers. 75 engineers. Feels like we're a little engineer heavy out of a total of possibly 280. We have 3 administrators. Eustace Dynacourt, Walter Wilson, and William Triton, assigned to production halls, design bureau, and administration. Okay. We can't hire any of these other country people. We got to increase our reputation to get folks from other countries. Engineering we looked at. Reverse engineering. I don't have anything to reverse engineer right now. Do we have any tanks in storage? I assume not, but yeah, nothing in storage. Yes, you can fire employees, Strub. Contract center? There are no contracts currently in progress. So I guess we just have to wait, I guess. Presumably there's no wars ongoing right now, right? We're in the interwar period. So no sign of any wars. We have tier 1 reputation with France. France is on the rise with a prosperous economy and growing national unity. Its colonies, though not as numerous as the British, are still stable. So France is on the rise, really? We're like right after World War I, dudes. I don't know about that. France is like reeling from destruction. Okay. Alright. Interesting that there's no Russia here. Where are the Russians? Wait. Oh, I was going to say, is that Austria-Hungary? Because that doesn't look right. It just says Hungary. Okay. Oh, it still says the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Okay. Weird. It's 1921. That's gone. The Ottoman Empire is also gone, guys. Although at least the... No, that should be gone. Doesn't look like they fully updated the map to reflect the interwar era. It looks like it's still... It looks like it's still the World War I era. Although these still say World War I era, so maybe that'll change. Or maybe that's just not updated yet. Anyway, let's, I guess let's let time progress. I guess we should actually start researching things, right? So if we go to the research section here, obviously I'm going to want some new hulls, so I think doing a hull is important. I can do that, right? We've got hardening and... I think we have hardening and riveting. So let's do that. 128 days? Holy crap. That's a lot. Is that possible? Does time just move faster in the interwar period? Like, it's not that much for, if you think about it in a realistic sense, but in game terms, that seems like a long time. I don't even know if I've got that much cash in the bank to survive that long. I do have 3 million, but our monthly balance is burning through 200K plus. If we're going to do a new hull, we should probably also work on a new engine, which we've got to get through this new fuel first, so... Can I assign this to line 2? Or actually, I'm curious, can I speed this along if I go back to structure? It doesn't look like you can... It'd be cool if you could assign 2 production lines to it, but it doesn't look like it. Anyway, I guess we'll go down the gas route. 167 days. That seems like so much time. New tank revealed. According to their trustworthy sources, William Foster Company has just completed a new design of the heavy fusillade tank, codenamed Artemis Mark III. Okay, are we expecting new contracts anytime soon? I mean, I don't really know. Should I be using existing designs, or should we just be letting time progress and see? Carriage and wagon. Okay. The economical mail tank, codenamed Janus Mark I. Okay. I mean, these are going to all probably be similar-ish designs, right? Do we even need to design a new tank? Heavy fusillade tank, heavy vanguard tank, medium whippet. Like, can I just start producing this stuff? Okay. So yeah, I can just start building some of these things if I wanted to. With the Hornet trench tank. But I don't really want to do that yet. I guess we could just wait and see if contracts come in. We could always use the tanks we've already got and see what happens while we research the new tech. New trade agreement has been signed between Luxembourg and Sweden. Okay. Not sure why that matters for us. The Austro-Hungarian Empire, which should not exist anymore, announces a new contract for 24 tanks. They've issued a bid for a new tank accompanying a supply contract to equip its army with. The assault tank must meet strict requirements. 24 to equip the 4 battalions. Okay. So... Ottoman Empire has rearmed its World War I artillery regiments with new equipment. Renault Portier Tracteur. Okay. So you can see the different weapons and divisions in those armies. Let's see about that contract, right? Like, might as well see what we can, if we can win it. So they want supply contract from Turritos Corp. 4 battalions for assault tank. Well, there isn't a war going on, but okay. So they want what? What's the desired design here? An assault tank? Would that be like the modern... the Mark 7 maybe? The land battleship or the frigate? Probably the land battleship, right? So it doesn't have sufficient protection. The frigate is weaker. We're looking at this stuff here. No. So the closest thing to what they're looking for that we've designed is probably the land battleship. It meets the firepower, soft, reliability, repairability, mobility, and crew performance. It is off on mass. It's a little too heavy. Not dramatically so, but a little bit. Let's go with the medium Hornet trench. No, protection on that one's not good enough. So really it comes down to the land battleship or the frigate. Probably the land battleship. It's got enough firepower. It's got enough soft firepower, reliability, repairability, mobility, crew performance. It's really just too heavy, and the protection isn't good enough yet. So just on its base, success score is 30. We'd have to spend 60 grand to get insight on the competition. So they want 24 tanks. I don't really know how quickly I can build them. Okay. So maximum revenue is 800,000. We don't have any current revenues. Does having more tanks increase our success score? No. So if we cut the price, it does increase our success score, but it does obviously eat into potential profits. So I don't really know what we're looking at in terms of opponent bids. What does the tank cost to build? So 30,000 per tank. Is that really what it costs? I suppose the worker costs are fixed costs, right? We're going to have to pay that no matter what. So the resource cost is probably what's most relevant. Like, unless we're going to be hiring new people or unless we're going to be laying people off, at least while we wait, the resource cost is, I think, what's the most relevant. I mean, like, if we tried to make what we're... Is it really? That seems high. Well, that's interesting. So the success score... Why is it so high? They really like the firepower, the soft firepower on this thing? Because the success score is way higher on the frigate. Despite... I guess it gets less penalty for being less overweight. It loses a little bit of score on crew performance, but not much. It gains quite a bit of mobility score. Gains a ton of soft firepower. Loses some reliability. Loses some repairability. Loses quite a bit of firepower hard and a little bit of protection. But overall, the frigate success score is much higher. No idea what the opponent's is. Frigate's also cheaper to make. So if we go with the frigate, we probably have a better chance. Estimated cost is 27,000 per tank. 518 seems like a really high success score. And this still, even with worker costs included, this is still considerably... I mean, this is profitable. We could drop the price a little bit to get it to be a higher success score, but honestly, I don't even know if that makes sense. Like let's say we drop it by 3,000, and the success score only goes up like 30, so we might as well keep it at the quoted price, just to maximize my own. Hell, maybe jack up the price a little bit. 500 seems like a really high success score. I don't know why they're so indifferent for firepower hard. That seems like a weak decision on their part, but that's their part. That's their decision. So I suppose we stick with the quoted price, the quoted quantity. The deadline is the 22nd of May. It's currently March 5th. No, I know I can see the score breakdown. I don't understand why they don't care as much about this stuff. But I understand I can see the score breakdown right here. I don't particularly feel like spending 60 grand to see what the competition's offer will be. I figure we just submit it and we see what happens. So 500 seems high to me. So I think there's a good chance we win this. And if we do win it, we get 800 in revenue, 800K in revenue. We'd clear, but I have an issue with counting workers' costs against the production of a tank. Like, yes, I know tanks aren't produced for free, but when you already have these workers employed, you're paying them no matter what. So it's not really a per unit cost truly. But assuming constant production, this still is profitable by about 6 grand per tank times 24. Pretty happy with that. So let's go. I'd have a higher tank quantity and offer to oversell, but I don't have a good sense on timing. So let's go ahead and do that. Mark 7 or Mark 8 frigate, 1921, pre-built design. See what happens. Also, if we do have to build those tanks, if we have to build 24 of the frigates. Do we have the resources for that? It looks like we've got the resources. It will take 62 days. Which it's due in May. It's pushing it. The timeline's tight, but I think we can do it. What's the oh, the deadline is until, well, the contract deadline is then. Okay, so that's 5 more days. The contract delivery date is the 22nd of May. So if we get in 10 days, that gives us 20 days in March, 30 days in, sorry, 20 days in February. No, I guess 18. 30 days in March. So we'd be looking at mid-April by the time they're done. That should give us plenty of time to ship them. Okay. Let's see what happens. Accepted. Contract offer accepted by the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Congratulations. Austria-Hungary's High Command has declared the winner of the previously announced supply contract. Oh, they... and that's you! Your company won the bid. 24 tanks. Cool. Alright, well, let's go to the production hall then, and let's get those tanks rolling. Let's just confirm here. The Mark 8 frigate. $24 of them. Okay. Did I choose the wrong tank before when I said how many we were making? Alright, 62 days. I think it's only going to be one assembly line working on them too, so if another contract does come in... Well, with 360, that's actually maybe both assembly... Well... That's, yeah, it's just one assembly line worth of workers anyway. Just in case there's any shipment issues, let's increase the production figure to 26. We'll have enough profit to cover the distance, or the difference. Well, but that seems wasteful. Well, let's just do this. Okay, so these are all on assembly line 1. We could go to line 2 if we needed to produce more. We would need more high carbon steel and more iron. So to that end, let's go ahead and purchase some more equipment, just because you never know if another order might come in and you might need to wait on supplies to arrive. So let's see what we need to buy if we wanted another 24 just to replace our... Alright, so we can buy 1,500... glass, 20,000 rubber, 26,000 medium carbon steel. Oceania, who's got the best price? Oceania would take 25 days. There's a 47% reliability on the transport. Considerably cheaper steel and glass, although they don't have enough glass for the whole order. They don't have enough any of these for the whole order. I don't know who we're buying this stuff from in Oceania. Maybe Japan? All right, let's just max out all the medium carbon steel, iron, and high carbon. Okay. Well, we do need some other stuff too, so let's just do this. I just want to order them. All right, we need to order the max of all this stuff, I guess. I don't know that the Philippines would be producing much of this stuff themselves. I could be wrong. All right, so that will cost a total of $157,000. I'm okay with that. Sign the order, see what happens. All right, so we got 25 days till this stuff arrives. So we've got 2 order lines where we can order materials to. So 101 days on the contract left to deliver 24 tanks. 62 days left to produce the tanks. 91 days left on the research. I don't really feel like designing new tanks or engineering new parts at the moment. We'll wait for that research to be done, and we'll see what happens here. New Army Corps introduced. France has ushered in a momentous chapter in its military doctrine. A groundbreaking new type of Army Corps, interwar armored train. Armored train? I don't think I'm going to be participating in any armored train items. Meanwhile, the Germans have developed a new half-track. Denmark announces a contract for 10 tanks. And my Lockheed simulator brain has kicked in, and now we're going to be building F-35s. The war has begun. What war? Military campaign in Hungary between Romania and Austro-Hungarian Empire. I sure hope that the... I suppose this could be like a civil war between the fractured elements of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but I suppose maybe we'll see our tanks on the front lines before too long, although we're still building them. I wonder if your contract can get interrupted by a war. That would be an interesting thing to think about. Way too early for Spain, Como. All right, 10 tanks. Another assault tank? All right, well, let's see if we can win this contract, too. 10 is not a very high quantity, but... All right, so... What do they want again? So the... land battleship, or the land battleship has... The Mark 8 frigate seems to be the winning design. Wow, they don't want the trench tank. Look at how much they hate that thing. All the stuff they hate. The frigate seems to be our winning design at the moment. Alright. Suppose we could probably jack the price a little bit. I'm gonna charge a premium, just a small premium. I think if we're over 400, we'll still win the order. But you're gonna pay me $38,000 for these tanks because your order quantity is so low, sirs, and you are taking up time on my assembly line just to make 10 tanks. Well, we could try and throw more tanks into the order. That's true. Maybe that would be a better approach. Hey, rather than gouge you on the 10. What if we make 12? I think I have enough material for that. So what would that do? That would give us 400,000 in revenues, as opposed to if I charge them 35, say, that would give us 350. What if I just do 35,000 and give them 12 tanks? Make more and still gouge? Yeah, exactly. I don't... Is 15 the most that they'll take? Or is that just the most I have quantity to build? I don't have a good sense on what I've got resource-wise in production. But if you offer more and you can't meet, the cancellation fees increase. We'll just offer them 12. At 35 per. Well, let's see what they say. Seems like we still have a pretty good score. Contract number 2. Yeah, okay. Classified information. Tanks to the tropics. British High Command today has announced new tests being put underway for a tropical tank to function under the harsh conditions of India and South America. Among one's presence, the Vickers number 1 and 2 is of particular interest. Romania has rearmed its World War I infantry regiments. Okay. German Empire announces a contract for 32 tanks. Damn it! Well, we're not going to win that contract. Also, Versailles, anybody? Versailles? I don't have the resources to meet that contract, I don't think. Let's see here. This contract, how long do we have to... Contract deadline 3/22. So we actually have a month to get the contract in. Let's see if we win the other one. Did they have the treaty in the game? I don't know, Cuomo. I'm just... Obviously, there's no World War... Alright. So, we won the contract for Denmark. Perhaps it's 2... Resources are going to be delayed from Oceania by 5 more days. Production hall. Let's get the second assembly line working on the frigate tanks. So we're building 12 of those for the... Why can't I... Do I not... Oh, I need to hire more workers, don't I? So we've got 360 working on this line right now. But is that the total? That's the total number of people we have employed right now. So I gotta hire more people. The most available for hire right now is 79 people. But the factory floors are humming, so we might as well hire... I don't like doing an odd number like that, so we'll hire 70. Yes, I'm certain I wish to proceed. Okay, so we've got 70 more folks. So let's go back to the factory grounds and go to the, production hall. And we've got 2 lines open. I mean, alternatively, we could just increase the 1 line we've got going. But let's do this. 51 days. Let's pull 20 folks off this line because we've got a few days to spare. It just adds a couple of days if we pull 40 folks off. Can I not assign anybody to line 2? Or do I have to do a second order? So I have 100. So this will take... How many days? 101 days to do 12 tanks on line 2. I honestly wonder if it would just be faster to increase the first production line. But I don't know if I can do that. So we can do 24 here, 101 days. How long do we have on the contract again? Probably not 101 days. We got exactly 101 days, but the tanks have to arrive by that time. So we probably want at least 20 days of shipping for these guys. They're at 91 days. So that means I could probably cut production to, say, 65 days and reassign folks. Say 66. I could hire more people between if more people become available, for sure. Of course, the more people you hire, the more labor costs go up. So 66 and 74 days. That still gives me about 20 days to ship the tanks to Denmark. So I think this is okay-ish. Conversely, we've already got 4 in stock here. We could just ramp production on this group, ship the 12 to Denmark, free up the other. I don't think that's better. So 91 and 101. I'd like to go for the German tanks too, but I worry about their ability to do that. How do we... Well, I'm curious when more folks will show up that we can hire. But we've got 15 idle engineers too, but I don't have anything for them to do right now. I can't research a third line. I don't want to open a third engineering line right now. Finances are already tenuous enough as it is. We just hired a bunch of people. Let's see what it looks like in March. Military campaign has begun in Alsace-Lorraine between Luxembourg and Germany. Okay. The war has begun! Good luck, Luxembourg. It's gonna last like a day. A new non-aggression treaty is signed between the British and the Swedish. Battle of Surges has begun. Well, I haven't shipped any tanks that way yet, so. Norway announces a new contract for 10 tanks. The number and quantity of these tanks feels very F-35-esque. Like, we want 10 fighter jets. Okay, guys. Alright. So, that was... Our finances are not doing so hot. It is now March 3rd. Are there more folks I can hire? 51? Okay. We'll do 50. I guess we could just drag. Yep. Alright, so our finances are getting dicey. At least in my mind, they're getting dicey. With 50 new employees, though, we'll go to the production line. And... do we just put them all on line 2? The problem is I'm not going to get any of this done. So this is 56 and this is 48. If we... what if we do this? If we put, like, everybody that we have on the first contract... we can put 80 on the second. In the 30 days between this contract completing and this one being done... how do we have... what time are we at? 92 and 80. It's probably better to split the workflow a little bit more, but... 80 days is not a lot. Well, we're already in the interwar period. It's the 1920s, so... let's give it... British and Luxembourg are signing a non-aggression pact. Well, it's a little bit late. Luxembourg's in the middle of a war. Italy's announcing a new contract for 18 tanks. See, if we had waited, we could have gotten the German contract, which would have been way more lucrative. Cavalry tank in Sweden. Okay, so everybody needs tanks now. This is literally... it's like the frickin' Cold War and everybody needs fighter jets. Some of our new resources have arrived. Let's take a look at the production hall now. We have produced enough tanks to ship the Dutch order. Not Dutch, the Denmark's order. The Danes. So I suppose we could just do that now. What do you mean no signed contracts are available? Oh, here. So you can ship as needed, so like they'll pay me for the stuff that's already built. Or I can just ship the whole order right now. Slowest delivery speed is 8 days. It's also the cheapest price. No, actually, Rider and Corp's the cheapest price. Low safety, though. What happens if the safety fails? Do you get, like, penalized, or does something get destroyed, or is it just delayed? The deliveries from this market are considered to be low reliability, but potential delay length 10 days. 75% chance of a delay. Okay, so it's just delays. They're not destroyed in transit. Okay. Do I want to do the... so if I do the Danish order first, it'll open up the assembly line. Well, technically, I can already do the assembly line for... I wish I could just do constant production, right? Like, max one line out for constant production. Maybe I can do that. Just keep producing until you run out of stuff? Well, it doesn't look like you can do that. So... how long do we have on this again? Only 9 days left on the German order, which I won't... I mean, again, I could bid on it, but... Austria-Hungary's deadline's in 71 days. So I need to produce everything within 82 days, which we're less than 82 days. Let's say within 70 days, just to be safe. Right now, this line will clear out in 30 days, which will then give me... let's just say 30 more days to finish the other order, which I think should be easy. Like, once we get everybody on this other order... let's just shift this around a little bit. So if I finish the other... it really is 22 days just for 12 tanks? That seems like a long time. I suppose in that case... did we lose a staff member? Oh no. Alright, so 49 days and 39 days. It's probably just the safest way to do it. I wanted to clear this assembly line out first in case we want another order, but... I think this is just the way to do it. And then that'll give me... I just hit the wrong button on this. Still give me 20 days. And everything will be done for Austria-Hungary if I deliver for Denmark first. Okay, we'll do that. Also, do we have anyone else we can hire yet now that I just hired a bunch more people? Just one? I think you only get new employees once a month, I think. Alright, so let's go back to the warehouse. If I needed the cash, I could ship the 12 tanks now, but let's keep them in stock for a moment Since we did get more iron, we'll go ahead and buy the additional iron and medium carbon steel and all this stuff that is now available. Looks like they've started producing more in Oceania. Really? It's only 5 days? Okay. That seems 25 days. I was going to say that it would take longer than that to throw stuff on a ship. Now let's see if we wanted to produce another 18 of these things for Italy or some other contract. Would we have enough resources? All right, everybody, we've been going for almost an hour now, so that's going to do it for today's episode of Arms Trade Tycoon Tanks. This is the interwar update, era number 2. I will say so far we really haven't touched on much of the interwar stuff. We've started researching it, but we haven't started designing any interwar tanks yet. We've largely just been doing late World War I stuff. But hey, you know, that's okay. We're making money doing that, and you know, it's a tycoon game, so you got to spend some time researching the newer stuff, which we have not yet done. So we'll see how things play out when we get those items researched. But as I said, that's going to do it for today's episode. We will pick things up next time, if not today, then probably the day after, for our next look at Arms Trade Tycoon tanks. Let me know your thoughts below if this update interests you, if this game interests you, and definitely be intrigued to hear what you guys all think. But until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you very much for watching, as always, and I'm out.